Well, g'day everyone. Recently Tamron sent me two lenses and I've just put a review up of the first one, which was the 35 to 150. Now I'm going to talk about the 28 to 75 G2 version. So it's an updated version of the previous 28 to 75. So I thought we'd go through that. I'll show you a little bit about the specifications and then we'll also look at some of the images that I shot with the beautiful Anya. We did the shoot at the same time, so I just kept changing cameras and lenses. But just as a sort of sneak peek to what I'm going to say here, the lens really is magnificent. I've used the 28 to 75 as one of my staple lenses, particularly at weddings. It's been kept on the camera the whole time, and this is certainly a step up from what I had with the previous lens. And I really like the previous lens, but this one really is incredible. The autofocus and everything is just terrific, and the sharpness that you get from this lens and the colors are just beautiful. So what we'll do first, we'll go and have a look at the specifications. So we'll have a look at those. And after that, we'll come back and we'll have a look at some of the images. So we'll look at the specifications now. Okay, so let's look at the technical specs of this lens. The focal length is 28 to 75. The maximum aperture is f2.8, so it is a constant all the way through. The lens construction has 17 elements in 15 groups, and the minimum object distance is 0.18 metre or 7.1 inches at 28 millimetre, and you've got 0.38 at 15 inches or 75 millimetre. Like I said, it is a semi-macro, which is terrific. The maximum magnification is 2 to 7 at 28 and 1/4 to 1 at 75 mil. I love the fact that the filter size is the same through most of their lenses, and that's terrific because I use the 67 millimeter filters for everything. I don't have to sort of buy other filter sizes, which is great. The length is 117.7 and the weight is 540 grams. It is a 9 circular diaphragm lens as well, and it's the compatible mount is a Sony FE. So they're actually saying here that it's made with more lens elements than the predecessor, which is this AO36, which is the previous 28 to 75. And it's said that it's improved the image performance. Grip texture has been improved for better operation. In contrast, the weight is lighter than the previous 28 to 75 by 10 grams, which is 0.4 ounces. And I do love the feel of it, and I'll talk about that in a minute. You can sort of see how nice and shiny this one is compared to the previous lens that's out there. I found even the previous build was terrific, but this one has definitely made a step up. You can sort of see the difference here too, that there's 17 elements in 15 groups. The previous lens had 15 in 12 groups. The length is 117.8. This is 117.6. It's 73 the maximum diameter, 75.8 on this one, and the weight is a fraction lighter from 550 to 540. And you can sort of see the difference in the designs that you've got through here as well. But I definitely noticed that the quality of this lens was much better than the previous version, and I already thought that was a great lens. The features, it says the image quality in its class for standard zooms has been improved. This is against the previous version. The focusing has also been improved as well. The close-up shooting has been improved, and I did find this with all of the images that I took. I could definitely see the difference. This lens customization by Tamron, this utility that you have, and I'll show that in a minute, is newly added, that you can program the buttons to do different things. And the new design of the body, of the lens body, etc., has been improved. And it's the filter's the same, and the other features of the lens are exactly the same. Now, if you look at the charts, this is actually quite interesting. You can see that the new model is definitely better at the wide end, but it's drastically better at the telephoto end. You can see how flat this line is through here. If you look at these charts, I'm not going to go right through them, but I'll leave them here anyway so that you can see them for a second. But it has definitely been improved across the whole range when you're looking at the charts for what this is shooting. So I think it is a very, very good improvement. They're just saying here that it employs Tamron's VXD linear motor focus mechanism, and it is very, very fast. The high-speed, high-precision AF offers excellent focus tracking of objects, and I'll show that with Anya moving backwards and forwards so you can have a look at how that works. So this is a test of the autofocus. So this is a 28mm, so she's moved really close to the camera here. You can see it's grabbing her eye there as she moves around. Now I wanted to also change the focal length a number of times in this. Now she's run back here at 28 and I'm still seeing if it's grabbing her face, which it is. And you can see it's got no problem tracking her face at all. Now I've zoomed in, my hand's off the focus, and immediately when I press the focus, it grabs her face straight away in her eye there that you can see. It's super quick, and in fact it probably is one of the quickest focusing lenses that I've actually tried. It was really good, very, very quiet, so to be fantastic for video as well. And you can see it's got no issue at all of tracking her moving around, and this is on wide area, so it's great. It is super quiet, so it's great also for video. I just didn't have enough time to do video apart from the auto tracking this time. Okay, so you can sort of see the material that it's made out of here has definitely been improved. It does feel, a lot better quality than what the previous one was, even though I've found that they are incredibly robust, so it's going to be interesting to see how this weathers over time. The main difference is your focus set button that you've got here, and also a USB-C port that you've got here, that you can connect this to the computer, and then you can use that USB-C port and you can upgrade the firmware and also change different things, which is terrific. So the customization settings, like I said, come from this USB slot that you've got here, and you can control the AB focus. The focus preset can be changed. You can switch the focus ring function of the focused aperture and assign custom functions from the camera just by connecting the lens actually to a computer. So it's a really interesting thing that Tamron have done here. Now, it does have great weather sealing. You can see the weather sealing all the way through this lens. I've used the previous one in the rain and I've never ever had an issue with it. So the weather sealing actually is really good. It also has this fluorine coating too that's meant to protect from dirt, moisture and fingerprints. As you can see from the specifications, they've done a really good job with the lens here. They've just done some updates that really I wouldn't have thought were needed until I used the actual lens, and I could really see the difference. And like I said, I use my 28-75 all the time, and I could definitely see a difference, particularly when I brought them into Capture One. The other thing I noticed too was when I was focusing, it's definitely quicker than what my previous lens was, and I thought that lens was quite fast in itself, but I could really feel the difference of this lens. So yeah, so what we'll do now is we'll look at some of the images that I took on the shoot, and we can go through those together. Okay, so let's go through some of these images here. Now you can see if we look across over here that Anya's lit from this side here because it was really quite dark, and I just wanted to sort of see what I could do with lighting her up from the front there. So it is only a small diffuser, but it's certainly enough to light Anya up. Now you can see through here that this is the A7 III that these were taken with, and it was ISO 100. And it was 1/125th of a second and f2.8. So this is how these were shot. So the other shot that I did, the shoot I used the A9, and I was basically going to keep changing the cameras between the shoots. When I had the 35-150, I used the A9. I used the A7 III for this one. So this is the next one. I love the outfit that she's actually wearing. It's a very sort of 70s vibe. But beautiful colours. Like I said, these haven't been edited at all, apart from taking them into Lightroom, into Capture One, and Capture One just does some initial editing. So that's all that these have had. So you can see there that this was ISO 100, 1/25th of a second. This was 50mm. I tried to vary the actual focal lengths all the time. You can see here that I'm jumping here from 50mm, and I'm going up to 75mm. And I will occasionally just bring this up, but I'm not sure, like I said, how this will be in YouTube, but the sharpness of this lens, the rendering is outstanding. It really is beautiful the way it works. And you can see she's just done a couple of different poses here at 75. Then I've moved in closer. You can see a couple here that I've moved in closer. This one particularly I love. The rendering in the background is just beautiful. It's at 2.8. And again, if we check her eyes, it is rock solid on the eyes there. The sharpness on her eyes is just absolutely magnificent. I'm so happy with the way that this performed. The eye autofocus was terrific, and I just love the overall rendering that this lens gives. This was at 75mm, also 1/25th of a second at f2.8. This one I wanted to shoot down fairly low, looking up. I did two versions of this. You can see here that I've moved in. That one's at 28mm. I wanted to sort of show the difference of wide as you can get. And then I've moved into 43mm. I'm almost lying on the floor here, actually, but I do love that perspective that you get here as well. Again, this was one where I've done 75mm. I just like to sort of see how the background rendering is on these. And this was just natural sunlight that was coming into Anya's face. And again, you know, the rendering is beautiful in the background, plus the eyes are sharp as a tack. They really are. Like I said, this lens is absolutely outstanding. It makes me want to sell the original one I've got. This was just one where I wanted to see with her walking towards me, just with the tracking on the eye autofocus, and I just did some quick ones where she was walking towards me. It had no issues with that at all. I mean, it was a breeze for it, and I like the shots like that, and that's certainly something that I would do in weddings. I do that all the time. These ones were with some heavy backlighting that you can sort of see through here. Again, if you look at the sharpness of the eyes, it's just, you know, it's just gorgeous how the rendering is done through here. The colours are really bright and vivid. Like I said, this is naturally how it is there at Lavandula, but I'm so happy with the results that I got there. I wanted to sort of put this key lighting around Anya's hair there. I could even bring the highlights down, but I haven't wanted to edit this at all, so I wanted to show it as it is out of camera, but I could even protect those highlights a little bit more by bringing them down in recovery. This was just another area where I wanted to photograph Anya, again, just to sort of see the rendering that you could get out of this lens. Again, it's really happy. I'm smooth with the gradations on the skin. I think the skin looks beautiful with this. The colours look beautiful. I tried a couple of these. This is lit up, but I also tried one here with natural light just to sort of see how it would look under natural lighting conditions. Again, I'm really happy with how the lens actually performed. This was sort of standing up against this old door and with this old building. It was quite harsh here because the sunlight really was hard to control that you can see through here. And again, that's another one. I will edit quite a number of these for Anya once I start to get past this review. This was in an area where it had these trees which were sort of going over. Very, very dark underneath there. And I've lit Anya up with the flash that you can see on the right-hand side through here. Again, it's done a terrific job. This is 59mm, 72mm here, and if we look there, you can see it's 75. I love the rendering that it's given me in the background. And if we check her eyes again, beautiful and sharp as a tack. Hasn't missed anything if you look at that. That was shot at 1/100th of a second at f4.5. This I love against these two trees. I wanted to sort of get that yellow cast, and it's beautiful because she had the yellow top on as well, which looked really pretty with that as well. I did one here. I just wanted to show the eyes in this one too, that, you know, looking how sharp it is. They are unbelievable. I mean, she has gorgeous skin, and you can sort of see every single little imperfection that's on there. It's that sharp. You can even see the hair that's coming down through here. Now, if you had something here that was like a A7R4 or an A1 that has a high megapixel sensor, it would be amazing if you use that type of camera there. Now, I wanted to see this because I wanted to shoot the detail on the tree. So I stepped up. This was 28mm, and then I went up to 75mm, and this is 39mm. Now, you can sort of see here at 35, this is 31mm, and I'm sort of showing the macro capabilities here, and you can sort of see through here how sharp this is through this. Like, I don't know, like I said, how this will be through YouTube, but it's incredibly sharp with the area I've focused through here. So, you know, the macro side to this lens is terrific. You know, and if you look through here where I've focused, it's certainly holding detail all the way through there. I wanted to see how sharp it was at 2.8 and also 75, and then as a macro shot, which I shot on that one. This was another one where she was sitting down at 40mm. Just wanted to sort of see how it rendered the whole background and everything there. I'm really happy with how that looks. Again, these were sort of finishing up with Anya's shoot. It was just against the barn. I just wanted to sort of see how it looked here, and I'm very happy again with the rendering, which I'm very, very happy about. This is my beautiful granddaughter, Lenny. We did a birthday shoot with her. Actually, Kerry took these. So I just wanted to sort of show again how, you know, lovely the rendering is through these. If you look, like, these have had no retouching either, just directly straight into Capture One. So these were shot with the A9. So Kerry took the A9 out here with the 28 to 75. So this is 28mm. You can see here that that's 48mm at 3.2. That's 28mm as well. So you've got a lovely range that you've got in this camera. What I do love about it is, the 20, when you get the normal sort of range of 24 to 70, that's nice too, but you have got that ability with this to, jump up to 75mm, which is a really nice portrait length, which is great. You can see these are all shot at 28. This was shot at 69. This was shot at 41mm. Again, this was quite heavily backlit, so it's a lovely result that's come out of these. And that's it. Again, like I said, it's great to be able to just have that lovely rendering that's in the background, and also, it is super sharp what it's grabbed in the eyes. I'm so happy with how this lens has performed. Okay, so let me know down below what you think about those images. I'm really happy with them. I think the colors, the sharpness, the autofocus, and everything was terrific about it. There's nothing really bad to say about the lens at all. Like I said, apart from it just doesn't have stabilization, but with the latest Sony cameras, you don't really need it. I've never sort of felt the lack of not having stabilization in my current 28 to 75. So apart from that, guys, if you have any questions, leave them down below. Thank you so much, Tamron, for sending me this for review, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.